Look, I want to talk to you about something really big. It is a huge thing that nobody ever really told you about when it comes to the messy and painful business of the heart. It is a truth that feels completely backwards and a little bit weird when you first hear it, but I need you to listen closely. Here it is. Usually, the very second you finally decide to stop trying, the exact moment you throw in the towel and stop reaching out to her, is the same heartbeat where she starts to feel your absence like a physical weight on her chest. I need you to stay with me right now. I need you to lock in and keep your heart open. We are going to walk through this fire together, and I promise I will not leave your side. By the time we get to the very end of this talk, I am going to share a very heavy truth with you. It is the kind of truth that most men never get the chance to hear in their whole lives. It is a quiet truth, like a low sound you can only hear if you are very still, but it changes every single thing about how you see yourself and how you see the people you love. If you find that you like these kinds of real, deep conversations about how we actually work as human beings, then please show some kindness. You can stay connected with this group of caring people who really want to see you do well. We are not here to be famous or to build some big empire for ourselves. We do this for one reason. We actually care about seeing you grow into a man who is solid, happy, and has his feet firmly on the ground. Now, I have to be completely honest with you right from the start. I have to be real with you because that is what friends do. No one on this whole planet can ever give you a promise that is 100% certain. No one can give you a guarantee that one specific person is going to come back to you. People are not like light switches on a wall. You cannot just flip a switch and expect them to glow whenever you want them to. We are much more complicated than that. Humans are like puzzles with pieces that do not always fit easily. We are emotional creatures with many layers, and we are shaped by old hurts, strange ways we see ourselves, deep fears that we don't talk about, and the longings that we keep buried deep inside our ribs. But even if I cannot tell you exactly what she is going to do tomorrow morning, there is something very predictable about how the human heart works. When a woman chooses to walk away from a connection where she once felt a real bond, and the man she leaves does not act like the world is ending, something big shifts. If he does not fall into a panic, and if he does not start screaming or spend his long nights begging her for just one more chance, the whole story changes. If he instead meets that rejection with a quiet and steady sense of self-respect, it is like a light bulb suddenly turns on inside her head. A massive shift happens deep in her gut. Let me explain why this happens the way it does. Most breakups do not just happen because all the love disappeared in one single night. It is more like a pot of water sitting on a stove with the lid pressed down tight. Little needs and tiny feelings go ignored for way too long, and the steam starts to build up. The spark of being together starts to feel a bit gray and dusty because it has just become part of the background noise of life. One of you, or maybe both of you, starts to feel like a ghost wandering around in your own house. The energy between the two of you goes from being a warm fire in a fireplace to a cold, dark cellar. And when the string finally snaps, women usually have a very specific movie playing in their minds about what the guy is going to do next. They expect you to chase them. They expect you to try and use logic to talk them out of their feelings. They expect big, desperate speeches that go on forever. They expect a loud and messy fight to keep them from walking out the door. In some cases, they might even expect you to just fall apart and stop being able to live your life. Why do they expect this? Because during the whole time you were a couple, She knew exactly how you felt. Your love was something she could count on every single day. It was predictable. It was always there, just like the sun coming up over the trees every morning. But when that constant heat suddenly goes cold, and you become this quiet and mysterious man who respects himself, her inner balance gets knocked off. In the world of the mind, being away from someone creates a huge contrast, and that contrast is the mother of understanding. When you quit trying so hard to talk her into staying, you are actually giving her a very big gift. You are giving her the gift of space. You are giving her the room she needs to actually feel the empty spot you left behind. She starts to notice how quiet things are. She notices that your eyes are no longer on her. She notices that you are not there to catch her when she makes a mistake. This is where most guys get confused. Doing this is not about playing a mean game. It is not about trying to trick her or mess with her feelings. It is definitely not about trying to make her jealous by hanging out with new people. Instead, it is about learning how to take care of your own life and keep your own house in order. When you hear someone say no, and you respond with a calm nod, you are sending a huge message without saying a single word. You are showing her that you are not owned by the fear of losing her. At a very deep level, that kind of strength creates a type of attraction that begging could never create. You see, the way people feel drawn to each other over a long time is linked to how they see each other's strength and stability. When you beg someone to stay with you, your value drops all the way to the floor. It tells them that you do not have a center of your own. It tells them that you do not have a life outside of what they think of you. But when you choose to deal with your hurt in the quiet moments, when you think deeply about your own path, and when you keep your feet moving toward your own future, you are telling a whole different story. That story says that you are hurting, but you are still a whole person. That message travels much further than any text message you could ever send from a lonely bedroom. If she once really loved you, and if she once felt like she could breathe easily when she was in your arms, then there is a very high chance she will feel the heavy pull of what she left. It won't be because you forced her to feel it. It will be because you were brave enough to let her feel the coldness of your absence. What happens next depends on the version of yourself that you build while things are quiet. Let us go even deeper into this idea. What a lot of guys don't realize is that being away does more than just make someone miss you. It forces a person to stop and look at themselves in the mirror. When you take a big step back and start living your life as well as you can, she begins to see all the small things about you that she stopped noticing before. It is very subtle and hard to see at first. Maybe it is just the way you hold your shoulders now. You look like you are standing more steadily on your feet. Maybe it is the small wins you are getting every day, or the way your laugh sounds when you are out with your friends. She sees that your life has its own power and its own direction. You do not need her to tell you that you are doing a good job anymore. Women, just like men, react to the way a person feels. They do not just react to words or promises that have no meaning. They react to the energy you put out into the world. And when the energy of your life stops revolving around her like a planet around a star, it breaks the cycle she has been stuck in. Suddenly, she starts to remember why she liked you in the first place. She remembers the feeling of being safe. She remembers how you actually listened to her without being mean. She remembers that calm strength you had before things got all messy and loud.
Instead, the first rule is to stay very calm. If she reaches out, talk to her with a clear head. Keep your messages short. Do not write a whole book. Do not look for her to tell you that you are a good guy. Your goal is not to force her to come back. Your goal is to show that your life is already wonderful, whether she is in it or not. Being independent is the ultimate way to pull someone in. Being needy is the ultimate way to push them away. The second rule is to have patience. Changing someone's feelings takes time. Her emotions are going to be like a roller coaster. One day she might be all in, and the next day she might be confused again. No matter what she does, you have to stay exactly the same. Being consistent shows that you are strong. It shows that you are someone she can actually lean on. That is what a brain looks for when it wants a partner. Next, you have to be subtle. You do not need to bring up everything from the past. You do not need to do anything wild to get her attention. Just be yourself. Stay in your power. Live your life and let her see little bits of your growth without making a big show out of it. Your life itself is the message. It says that you are a whole person. When she sees that you did not just survive, but you actually did really well without her, she rethinks everything. She starts comparing her dreams to the real man standing in front of her. She remembers the safety. That memory is much stronger than any debate you could ever have. Finally, you have to realize that you are not playing the old game anymore. The guy who felt insecure is gone. That change is quiet, but everyone can see it. It shows a level of being a grown-up that most people do not notice until it is too late. So if she reaches out, keep your feet on the ground. Honor yourself. Let her be a nice addition to your life, but not the air you need to breathe. By doing this, you keep the magnet turned on. You are not waiting for her to decide what your future looks like. You took your power back for yourself. That is the force that brings her home. Now, look at the mindset that really makes things move. It is the feeling inside you that makes her want to be near you. It is not about following a script. It is about how you exist in the world. How you feel inside is the loudest signal you send out. People can read your energy before you even say a single word. If you are full of anxiety, she will feel it. It shows you have no boundaries for yourself. No matter how cool you try to sound, that nervous energy will tell the truth about you. Work on having a calm confidence that comes from trusting yourself. This does not mean you act like a robot. It means you feel the pain, you let it sit there, but you do not let it drive the car. Being the boss of your own heart is very attractive. It says you know about your pain, but your pain does not define who you are. Lean into your own growth. Use this time to get better at everything you do. Do it for yourself, not for her. Get healthy. Do better at your job. See your friends and have fun. Every time you improve something about yourself, your value goes up. When she sees you changing for the better, she gets curious. Growing as a person commands respect from everyone. Another big thing is staying neutral. This does not mean you are being mean or cold. Being neutral means you do not react too much to things. You do not get super excited when she texts, and you do not get super sad when she goes quiet. You stay steady like a rock. That steadiness is a huge contrast to all the drama of the past. You are the calm spot in the middle of a storm. People always look for the calm spot when things get crazy. Then there is the power of waiting. You cannot control what is happening in her mind. Trying to force it only makes it worse. Real influence comes from showing that your life is full even without her. When she sees you doing great, she starts to wonder if she made a mistake. Be gentle and quiet when you talk. Be warm, but do not give everything away. Your vibe should say that you are fine either way. That is much more convincing than making some big dramatic gesture. At this point, she feels a real pull toward you. She realizes she didn't value you enough. Because you are standing on your own 2 feet, that pull is very real. It often leads to her wanting to connect with you on her own terms. The secret is very simple. The way back to her heart is through your own change. You do not need to convince her of anything. You just need to be the man she loved, but a version that is even stronger and more whole than before. Now, what do you do when she actually shows up? This is where you make sure she sees your value, so she never takes you for granted ever again. Most guys fail right here because they get way too excited. They forget all the progress they made. The first rule is to keep your cool. When she comes back, do not act like you just won the lottery. That makes it look like you were just sitting around waiting for her. Be welcoming, but stay balanced. She needs to feel the warmth, but she also needs to know that you are okay on your own. It is like a dance. The way you carry yourself matters more than the words you say. Second, you must keep your boundaries. If she wants to talk about what happened in the past, listen to her. Be kind. But always bring the focus back to right now. Having boundaries shows that you respect yourself, and self-respect is very attractive. She needs to see that while she has a chance with you, your whole world does not stop for her. That clear message is like a magnet. Third, take things very slow. Do not jump right back into the old way of doing things. Let it happen in a natural way. Be curious about her life. Let the conversation show if you are still a good match for each other. This makes everything feel brand new. She starts to see that the man she left is someone she wants to get to know all over again. Next, let being thankful lead the way. When she makes an effort to be with you, let her know in a calm way. This is not about being a suck-up. It is about showing that you value good energy. People love to feel like they are appreciated. It builds a good feeling without making you look like you need her. Keep your own life moving forward. Keep your good habits. Keep working toward your goals. She has to see that your happiness is not her job to maintain. This keeps the attraction strong. She is joining a life that is already great. Finally, understand the deep part of this. Women come back because they can feel a change in the air. They feel your stability. They feel that you respect yourself. This makes them able to trust you again. If you act from a place of strength instead of a place of need, she will want to stay with you. This is not about using tricks. It is about being the real you, a man who loves deeply but also respects himself. That mix of being real and being stable is what pulls her back to you. She might come back with a whisper, or she might come back with a roar. But what really matters is that you built a life that is amazing all on its own. That is the true power of being the master of your own heart. Now you see why she comes back. It is not because you put pressure on her. It is because the man she once knew became a man she simply cannot ignore anymore. Stop chasing. Start growing. The empty space you leave behind is where her desire is born. If you fill that empty space with noise and begging, she will never feel what it is like to lose you. But if you fill it with silence and strength, she will have no choice but to face the truth. The man she walked away from is no longer the man who is standing here right now. He is better. He is faster. He is stronger. And he is completely fine without her. That is the ultimate form of attraction. That is how you win. You do not win by winning her back. You win by winning yourself back first. Everything else follows that one big truth. Stay grounded. Keep moving forward. The world is watching you. She is watching you. But most importantly, you are watching yourself. Be the man that you would respect. That is the only path that really matters in the end. It takes time. It takes a lot of grit, but it works. It works every single time. Trust the process. Trust the silence. Trust yourself. You are the captain of your ship now. Act like it. Reach for the very best version of who you can be and do not look back. The rest of the things in your life will take care of themselves. Keep your head up and keep your heart locked down until the right time comes. You have got this. Just take a breath and be still. The strength you need is already inside you. You just have to let it lead the way. It is a long road, I know, but the view from the top is worth every single step you took when it was dark. Stay solid, stay quiet, stay whole. That is the message I have for you. That is the truth. Now go out there into the world and live it. Your life is waiting for you to take charge of it. Do not let another second slip away in doubt or fear. You are the prize. Never forget that for a second. The moment you believe it in your heart, she will believe it too. It is just how the world works. It is how the human heart works. It is how you become the man you were always meant to be in this life. End of story. Now go out there and win.